To create straight stitch, running stitch and back stitch, we're going to use just 2 strands of embroidery floss and we're going to pop a knot in the end. For straight stitch, we're going to start on the left hand side of the marker and pull the needle all the way through to the knot. Then we're going to pop it back in again on the right hand side. Super simple, but this stitch is the basis for lots of the other stitches that we're going to work through on this hoop. Now we're going to move on to running stitch, and for this you'll also need 2 strands of embroidery floss and again pop a little knot in the end. Starting on the left hand side, I'm going to bring my needle up at the left hand point of the first marker, and I want to pull my thread all the way through to the knot, and then I'm going to put it back in again at the end of that marker point. And here you're effectively just creating 4 short straight stitches. And the hardest thing with this stitch is to get the stitches to be even, but fortunately they're marked on the pattern for you, so that shouldn't be too tricky. So we're going to keep going, pulling the needle and thread through on the left hand side of the marker, back in again on the right until you get to the last one. And there we go, that's your running stitch complete. And finally we're going to move on to back stitch, still using 2 strands of embroidery floss with a knot in the end. And we're going to start inbound from the edge of the marker and pull the needle all the way through to the end and then put it back in the fabric to the left hand side. So we're moving back on ourselves and creating a backward stitch. Once you've pulled that thread all the way through, move your needle along, same kind of distance, trying to keep the stitches equal. And again, we're moving backwards and putting the needle back in of the whole of the preceding stitch. And we're going to keep with this process all the way along, so constantly moving across to the right hand side, but sewing the stitch backwards and going in the whole of the preceding stitch. Again, the trickiest thing with this stitch is trying to get each point even, and I haven't marked it on the pattern for this one, so there's a little bit more of a challenge there. But as with most things, practice makes perfect, and the more you do it, the more even your stitches will be.